by Aaron Chukwu Emeka and his counterparts at the local government and ward levels. Justice Luf also ordered the PDP national body and others not to tamper with the dissolve the local government and ward leadership of the PDP in Rivers State, who are elected along with the State Executive Committee during the recent Congress of the party. Analysts have emphasized on the need for due processes in regard to the October 5th local government polls in the state. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network program Open Conversation, a political analyst Ifeanyi Ugochukwu maintained that Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission must at first ensure to handle all issues of court-related cases as it concerns local government poll in the state.
See off the litigation before they were able to conduct the elections. So it will not be different from Rivers State if they put on hold the election, instead of after all these frivolities at the end of the day we still go back to the status quo, because any infraction, any disobedience of the court order for this part.
Meanwhile, Mr. Ugochukwu highlighted areas of handles in the proposed council elections in the state.
Seeing parties, run advertorial screening and campaigns, and we are talking about an election that is going to be holding on the 5th of October. So those things are really confusing to the electorate in Rivers State. So the earlier the governor put an end to the process for now and finishes this legal backlogs, the better for Rivers people.
This is coming as the All Progressives Congress in Rivers State has doubted the possibility of the proposed council elections in the state on October 5th. The APC said there is nothing on ground to indicate that the exercise will hold on the said days. They urge Governor Fubara to stop deceiving Rivers people that election will hold. Labour Party Sensu caucus in the House of Representatives has described the loss of its governorship candidate Barrister Olumide Akpata as the highest theft of the season. Speaking on the outcome of the September 21, 2024 governorship election in Edo State, the leader of the caucus, who is also the House Minority Whip, Honorable George Ozodinobi, said the party is joining other political parties, civil society organizations, NGOs and local and international observers to condemn the final outcome of the election, which according to the lawmakers was marred by irregularities and riggings.
This is the very first time I'll be addressing the press. I've been dodging off. I'm not a media person, but I'm in love with press. So I want to thank all of you. We just started yesterday we came back from our recess yesterday. Our time are very tight. 33 of us are supposed to be here, but too many engagements. In the next 15 minutes, Speaker, the leadership, what transpired in Edo State on September 21st, 2024, in the name of governorship election is the highest theft of the season. The electorate were clearly robbed of their votes and their will and wishes dashed. We want to state without mincing words that Labour Party is committed to democratic principles and will not stand idly by while the rights of our citizens are
the caucus accused the Independent National Electoral Commission and the security agencies of complicity during the election, warning that the obedience movement is coming out in full force and nobody can stop it this time around. Petroleum Union in Akwa Ibom State has lifted the ban on the sale of petroleum products in the state. Recall that the leadership of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, in a press release signed by its chairman Francis Udoyen and secretary Ekom Idomodu, recently directed its members to close their fuel stations. The directive saw all fuel stations in the state shut down their operations, refusing to sell the product to anyone all day. The ban followed the confiscation of the trucks of petroleum motor spirit by the Joint Task Force from months ago. The state governor, worried by the hardship the action created for residents, convened a meeting with the Petroleum Union, according to the press release signed by the Commissioner for Information, Ini Ememabong. The statement noted that the union leaders agreed to lift the ban with immediate effect. Additionally, he expressed his commitment to exploring the establishment of the petroleum depot in Akwa Ibom State. Ebonyi State government has sealed 4 mining companies for non-compliance with the theme of the Community Development Agreement in the state. The CDA is signed to ensure that mining companies contribute to the development of the communities in which they operate. The Commissioner for Soil Minerals and Natural Resources, Honorable Chidi Oneya, led a joint task force to seal the company. He explained that the miners had been given ample time to comply with the agreement but failed to do so. The affected companies are Alima Mining and Investment Limited, China Soil Rock 1 and 2 located in Ngodo Amachi in Afikpo local government area, and Nshengolong Mining located in Iziolu in the Ishiolu local government area. According to the Commissioner, the site will remain closed till the companies comply with the state government's directives. He assured that the state government will continue to monitor mining activities to ensure that all companies follows the law, warning that any company found breaking the rules would be shut down. Anambra State Police Command has arrested 2 suspects and recovered a bag of gunpowder along with ammunition at various locations across the state. The command spokesperson SP Tochukwu Ikenga revealed this in a statement on Wednesday, noting that the arrests were made during intelligence-driven patrol conducted by the Joint Security Task Force. Ikenga stated that the police arrested 2 suspects and recovered a large quantity of gunpowder concealed in a bag of cassava flakes, along with a locally made pistol and live ammunition. He explained that on 22 September 2024, operatives patrolling the Pillar Pole area of the Aguata intercepted a suspect carrying their bags of Gary. Upon searching the bags, the operatives discovered gunpowder hidden beneath the food items. He said preliminary investigations revealed that the suspect was en route to a criminal camp, delivering grocery for consumption and gunpowder intended for the production of the improvised explosive devices for the gang. Ikenga added that the suspect is currently in custody and is assisting the police in their effort to apprehend other members of the gang. In a bold move to tackle violation of Lagos State environmental law, the Lagos State Environmental Protection Agency has sealed off prayer centers and business premises across the state. This was disclosed in a statement shared on X by the Lagos State Commissioner for Ministry of Environment and Water Resources, Tokumbo Wahab, on Wednesday. According to a statement released by the LASPA on Wednesday, the enforcement operations is part of the agency's ongoing efforts to ensure compliance with environmental laws and protect public health. The statement revealed that the establishments were found guilty of violating environmental regulations despite several warnings from the agency. The statement further revealed that the general manager of the LASPA issued a stern warning emphasizing the agency's stance on compliance with environmental laws. National Emergency Management Agency has confirmed the dates of 1 and 2 missing persons in a Tuesday evening flood incident around the Joyous B mobile area of Ibadan. The NEMA Southwest Coordinator Kadik Olarenwaju disclosed this to newsmen in Ibadan on Wednesday while assessing the level of damage at the scene. ATN reports that a heavy downpour on Tuesday across some areas within the Ibadan metropolis affected some residential areas, leaving inestimable properties destroyed. Olawenwaju attributed the flood to improper channelization of the drainage in the area, saying the volumes of water in the area was too much for the available drainages. He said the flood reaching the gate level, adding that the area was a flash flood plain, which might result in heavy disaster if not addressed at the right time. Federal High Court in Abuja has adjourned the money laundering case against former Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello brought by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission until October 30, 2024 for a ruling. Justice Emeka Wati granted the adjustment during Bello's move to appeal to the Supreme Court, seeking to overturn the arrest warrant issued by the trial court on April 17. During the hearing, Defense Counsel A.M. Adoyi informed the court that the matter of Bello's arraignment, which is under appeal, has been taken to the Supreme Court. He noted that the Court of Appeal ruling on August 28, which directed Bello to appear before Justice Wati for arraignment had been challenged at the Upper Court. Adoyi also brought the court's attention to the September 23 affidavit of record filed in connection with the appeal. The EFCC counsel, Kemi Pinero, wasn't having any of it. He told the court that the defendants and the counsel had turned the court into a place of entertainment. He said the various applications are a gross abuse of court. He urged the trial judge to use his power and sanction Adoyi for attempt of court and being irresponsible. Experts have expressed concern following the federal and state government approach to mitigate devastating flood challenges across the country. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network program Society Watch, a development expert, Eric Ibifa, blames state governments for inability to diligently tackle the issues of flood and misforecast and funding.
Some of these things are things that may not be entirely avoidable, but you could mitigate them. You could mitigate the impact. But it seems that each time we do nothing about this, so it's like a repetitive cycle. I mean, it has happened today. We take the usual knee-jerk response. Oh, Sarah will issue statements, which I entirely endorse. Asking the federal government to ask the state government some questions about the disbursement or the utilization of a.
Meanwhile, Mr. Eric advocated for a sustainable remedy to further avert the natural disaster. ATN recalled the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has urged President Bola Tinubu to direct the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, and the appropriate anti-corruption agencies to promptly investigate the spending of the billions of naira of ecological fund collected by Borno State since 2001, including the 816 million naira collected by the state between January 2024 and June 2024. Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed has submitted a request to the State House of Assembly seeking approval for a 94.676 billion supplementary budget for the 2024 fiscal year. The governor's request was presented by the majority leader Babayo Mohammed Akuyam during a plenary session chaired by the Speaker Abubakar Y. Suleiman. The governor's letter cited Section 122 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, emphasizing that the additional budget is needed to fast-track the execution of priorities projects aimed at enhancing the welfare of Bauchi State citizens. According to Akuyam, the governors reiterated his administration's commitment to infrastructural development, human capital improvement, and advancement in the health and education sectors. Federal Capital Territory Minister Nyesom Wike says President Bola Tinubu has directed the FCT administration through the Federal Capital Development Authorities to refurbish the former Ministry of Agriculture building for the newly created Ministry of Livestock. The minister stated this following an inspection tour of the ministry's building in the Central Business District of Abuja and the ongoing construction of the Kwabo International Market along Abuja-Kefi Expressway on Wednesday. Wike, while addressing pressmen after the inspection, described the project as an emergency work and said the FCTA would invite companies to assess the building and give quotation for the project, adding that an integrity test has been conducted on the building, which came back okay. The minister also said he had directed the Department of Development Control to demolish buildings obstructing a road corridor leading to the Kwabo International Market from Mbappe. Noting that the market was constructed under a public-private partnership, Wike added that the administration will also liaise with the investors to make the completed phase first of the project affordable to traders to dissuade roadside trading in the FCT. FCT Minister Nyesom Wike said the arrangements that created Kwabo International Market between Abuja Investment Company and private individuals is not favorable to FCTA and there is a need for balancing. Wike stated this when he visited the Kwabo International Market in Abuja, pointing out problems of encroachment to market front view and ordering the development control to remove all that will hinder fast completion of the market.
Well, it is a PPP arrangement between the Abuja Investment Company, which is an agency of the Federal Capital Territory Section, and a private individual. We have a stake. The land belongs to the FCT, and then the company invests. And here there is a sharing formula, which is not acceptable to the first instance, which have directed the budget director to see that we meet with the investor to see how we can have an arrangement that will be suitable for all of us. For now, the way it is not favorable. It's only favorable to the investor. Secondly, this is an investment that should be encouraged. The international markets of standard, and there are a lot of problems. There was encroachment, and I've directed the government control to immediately demolish anything that is going to cause as an impediment. This is a road corridor, and we will not allow that. And the government control director is there. He had been ordered to immediately move in with his men to demolish whatever is left.
He promised to support the project to enforce fast completion of it by January next year, adding that FCTA will, through empowerment programs, also support traders to assess the market instead of using roadsides for their businesses.
I've asked him when he thinks that the whole thing will be ready. He has said we should give it until January. However, the first phase has been completed. We will therefore see what we can do to see that we open the first phase. And some of these are traders on the road has to come in here and give the free traffic that we deserve. We'll do everything we can to support people. Those who have not indicated interest will see how, through the employment program of the Ready Hope agenda in the FCT, we'll see whether we can also put in some funds by taking some stores and giving it to our people. We'll do everything to see that people move into this market as quickly as possible at the first phase. So we're happy. First of all, We have a market where that will create a lot of employment for people. People carry out economic activities. Again, it will decongest the roads, where you see everybody takes the road as a market. Anybody who's coming to market, I'm going to Kubo International Market, whether it is in terms of manufacturing, whether it is in terms of other things. So there are so many advantages. It will boost the economic activity, it will boost the revenue of the government. More importantly, it will create a lot of employment. That's what's key to us, employment, job creation, very key.
In the same vein, the minister also visited the former building of Ministry of Agriculture, which the president has ordered for renovations for the newly created Ministry of Livestock to move in as soon as possible.
This is a former Ministry of Agriculture, and we have a directive by Mr. President to go and immediately refurbish the place and furnish. We have seen the integrity test, which is okay. And we have to rehabilitate and furnish it, and then you will see the Ministry of Livestock take over.
Kaduna State government has reiterated its dedication to upholding children's rights through the implementation of laws and policies. According to Commissioner for Human Service and Social Development, Aija Rabi Saliu, speaking on the zonal policy dialogue on social budgeting for child-sensitive sector in Nasarawa and North Central zones, Commissioner Saliu highlighted key initiatives such as the Child Welfare and Protection Law 2018, which prioritized the base interests of children in the justice system. Commissioner Saliu praised the timely dialogue which brought stakeholders together to address funding gaps and barriers. She also expressed gratitude to the organizers and UNICEF for their support, anticipating innovative solutions and improved social sector performance. ATN reported that the Kaduna State commitment to child rights is part of its board's effort to enhance the well-being of its citizens, including initiatives such as the health care financing policy and strategy document. Expert has expressed concern following the high rate of banditry making rounds in the northern region of the country. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network program ATN Politics, a socio-political analyst, Chris Akani, alleged that corrupt politicians are major facilitators of banditry as it may. Meanwhile, Mr. Akani further blamed the insurgents and government's inadequate actions and lack of political will to tackle the issues of insecurity across the country. This is coming as a former Zamfara State Governor Bello Nasawel has dismissed allegations of aiding banditry leveled against him by the State Governor Dauda Lawal. Nasawel, now Minister of State for Defense, challenged politicians including Lawal to swear on the Quran to prove their innocence in the banditry crisis plaguing the state. Operatives of the Bauchi State Police Command has arrested 2 suspects at the Bayamgari area of Bauchi Metropolis over their alleged involvement in the murder of an 18-year-old Adamo Akisim, the resident of Kofa Dumi. The suspects include a 20-year-old Usman Shehu, who is also known as Babayero, and 19-year-old Abdullahi Abubakar. Spokesperson of the Bauchi Police Command, ASP Hamid Wakli, confirmed the arrest in a statement made available to reporters in Bauchi. He said the suspects were apprehended for criminal conspiracy and culpable homicide. SP Wakli explained that operatives were still on the trail of the remaining suspects and urged the public to provide any useful information for their arrest. He added that the suspect will be charged to court upon the conclusion of investigation. This is Transition on Atlantic Television Network. Return after the break.
The people people of Maiduguri need your help. A catastrophic flood has engulfed the city, leaving over 1 million residents stranded and fighting for survival. Entire communities are submerged, with people trapped inside homes and on rooftops cut off from food, clean drinking water and essential supplies. Health experts are warning of a potential outbreak of deadly diseases, and medical facilities are out of commission. The situation is dire. Helicopters, boats and high-riding trucks capable of navigating the treacherous, waterlogged areas are urgently required to reach the countless men, women and children still awaiting rescue. The Nigerian media is issuing a desperate plea to the government, humanitarian organizations, international actors and citizens across the nation. Step in now, before it's too late. For more information on how you can help, contact Professor Usman A. Tar, the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Internal Security, Borno State, on 0809-233-3955. Every second counts.
This is powered by Atlantic Television Network.
Welcome back. This is Transition on Atlantic Television Network. And now the rest of our stories. Presidency has confirmed that the cabinet reshuffle to be undertaken by President Bola Tinubu was imminent, any movement from now. The special advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Ba Onuaga, however, stated that he was uncertain whether the cabinet reshuffle would occur before October 1st or not, but emphasized that it was expected to happen anytime soon. According to Onuaga, Tinubu urged the minister to go out there and publicize the administration's successes. He noted that some ministers were hesitant to speak publicly, adding that many Nigerians believe the president isn't doing much, while their government is actually making significant strides. It will be recalled that President Bola Tinubu appointed his ministers in August for last year, and there have been a clamor for cabinet reshuffle by some members of the ruling All Progressives Congress and Nigerians at large over poor performance by some ministers. Federal government has outlined some of its 2025 budget major objectives, and security identified as one of its top priorities. The Director General of the Budget Office of the Federation, Mr. Taminu Yakubu, gave the insight in Abuja at a meeting with budget officers on preparation of 2025 budget using the government integrated financial management information system budget preparation subsystem for all ministers, departments and agencies, MDAs. He said security will be prioritized to create a conducive environment for capital accumulation in the country in the 2025 fiscal year. Yakubu disclosed that since his assumption of office in June, he had faced both challenges and opportunities in managing the nation's fiscal resources. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Abbas, has expressed concern about ongoing security challenges despite progress against insurgency. Abbas, who stated this in his welcome address at resumed plenary by the State House after its annual recess, highlighted the devastating incidents including Boko Haram attack and killings. While acknowledging the ministry's success in neutralizing terrorists, the Speaker said the House will hold a high-level security summit focusing on legislative reforms, strengthening security institutions, and enhancing collaboration to tackle insecurity in the country. He said the House will also prioritize several key bill to address critical national issues across security, governance, and environmental protections. Honorable Abbas, who also spoke on the economic front, said the Nigerian has demonstrated reliance and potential for discovery despite facing inflammation.
A robust security sector oversight. The House will also promote legislative frameworks that support economic diversification and energy infrastructure. The House will prioritize several key bills to address critical national issues across security, governance, and environmental protection. The Armed Forces Act Amendment Bill and the Police Act Amendment Bill focus on strengthening Nigeria's security apparatus by enhancing the operational efficiency of internal security, including through community policing and potential state police reforms. At the same time, the National Electoral Offences Commission Bill aims to uphold the integrity of elections by prosecuting electoral malpractices. It is also crucial to acknowledge the devastating impact of climate change on our communities, especially the recent flooding in Maiduguri, Katsina, Sabangari in Kaduna State, and other parts of the country. We extend our deepest condolences to all those affected.
Former President Dr. Goodluck Jonathan has attributed a major cause of conflict on the African continent to struggling for power. He emphasized that leadership struggles are the root cause of most conflicts in Africa. Speaking at a program organized by the Institute for Peace and Conflict Resolution and partners in commemoration of the International Day of Peace in Abuja, Jonathan noted that Africans' conflicts are largely driven by contention for power. He expressed concern about Nigerians' situation, citing that until the country develops a culture of peace, political conflicts will persist. Jonathan also disputed the notion that politics is inherently dirty, instead blaming corrupt individuals for the negative perception. He advocates for a shift in mindset, emphasizing the need to cultivate a culture for peace. The former president highlights the importance of peaceful elections, citing the recent governorship election in Edo State, where tension was higher after the election due to concern about irregularities. Jonathan stressed that technology alone cannot solve Nigerians' electoral issues, as corrupt minds can manipulate it. Former female soldier Private Ruth Ogunleye has asked the Nigerian Army to publish the outcome of its investigations on alleged sexual harassment. Ruth Ogunleye had accused a senior officer, Colonel I.B. Abdulrazim, of sexual harassment. In January 2024, Ruth Ogunleye, via a TikTok page, Ogunleye alleged that Colonel I.B. Abdulakrim, Colonel S.G. Ogo, and Brigadier General I.B. Solbo has made her life unbearable. She specifically accused Abdulakrim of making repeated attempts to assault her, administering injection against her will, and confining her to a psychiatric hospital for several months after the rejected hint that Abdulakrim did not commit the offenses alleged by Ogunleye. Noting that medical reports following an evaluation of the National Hospital in Abuja indicated that Ogunleye was suffering from the condition that rendered her medically vulnerable. But reacting to the above claims, Ogunleye, via her TikTok account, urged the Nigerian Army to publish the outcome of the investigation. Nigeria Immigration Service has decried the growing wave of fake recruitment activities by fraudsters, saying it is working with relevant authorities to apprehend those behind the criminal enterprise. Service Public Relations Officer DCI Kennedy Udo disclosed this in a statement issued Wednesday in Abuja. He said that the service under the Controller General of Immigration, Kemi DAP remain committed to upholding the highest standard of integrity and professionality in a transparent, free and merited-based manner, noting that vacancies are advertised through the NIS website, official government's channel and recognized national newspapers. Academic Staff Union of Universities has handed the federal government a fresh 14 days ultimatum to resolve pending issues. ASU President Emmanuel Osodeke made this clear in a statement on Wednesday. Osodeke said they were frustrated with the government's lack of commitment and delayed tactics. Osodeke said the union should not be held responsible for any industrial disharmony that arises from the government's failure to seize the new opportunity offered by ASU to nip the looming crisis in the bud. Apart from the implementation of the 2021 agreement, ASU is also demanding the release of unpaid salaries for staff and sabbatical part-time and adjourned pay appointments affected by the integrated payroll and personal information system and the payment of outstanding third-party deductions such as check-off dues and operatives contribution. The union is also seeking funding for the revitalization of public universities, partly captured in 2023 federal government budget, and the payment of earned academic allowances, partly captured in the 2023 federal government budget. National Working Committee of the All Progressives Congress Grand Alliance says it is set to suspend the governor of Anambra State, Chukwuma Soludo, and his co-travelers. The party's national chairman, Chief Edozie Ojoku, who addressed the praise at the Federal High Court in Abuja on Wednesday, said the governor has thwarted every move by the Supreme Court to recognize NWC to restore peace in the party and has continued with his anti-party activities. Edozie said by Tuesday, 26 September 2024, the NWC would announce the names of members of the party who have been suspended for anti-party activities, including the governor of Anambra State, Soludo. Ahead of the off-cycle governorship election in the state, the national chairman maintained that party has no sole candidate for the election. He doubted if Soludo would even emerge victorious from the party's primaries. He said that anyone interested in becoming the governor of Anambra State should come forward and go through the process, which according to him would be seamless. And now to business news. Nigerian Bureau of Statistics yesterday announced that Nigerian unemployment rate grew by 1.2%, 0.25.3% year-on-year. This came on a day that Central Bank of Nigeria yesterday raised the monetary policy rate by 27.25%. The NBAs, which disclosed this in Nigerian Labour Force Survey report, said the unemployment rate for Q1 2024 was 5.3%, showing an increase from 5.0% recorded in Q3 2023. The unemployment rate among males was 4.3% and 6.2% among females by place of residence. The unemployment rate was 6.0% in urban areas and 4.3% in rural areas for Q1 2024. The survey also showed that the share of underemployed Nigerians declined 10.9% in Q1 2024 from 12.2% in Q1 2023. According to NBS, underemployment is the share of employed population who work less than 40 hours per week but are willing and available to be engaged for additional work hours. It states that in Q1 2024, the share of the underemployed Nigerians was 10.9%, a decline of 14 percentage points from the 12.3% recorded in Q3 2023. Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprise has tackled the Central Bank of Nigeria's 50 interest rate hikes amidst economic hardship. The executive director of CPPE, Moda Yusuf, made this known in a statement on Tuesday in reaction to the CBN Monetary Policy Committee's latest interest rate hike. This comes as the CBN 297th MPC meeting on Tuesday announced a fresh rate increase by 50 basis points to 27.25% in September 2024. Reacting to a rate hike, CPPE says CBN's decision to continue tightening it at a variance with the mode of most economic players and desire to promote economic recovery. According to him, what investors and manufacturers need is some oxygen and stimulus, not policy measures that would worsen an already suffocating situation. Experts have maintained that adequate and proper sanitization would help to educate entrepreneurs on the range of businesses that qualified to benefit from the proposed tax waivers bill by the federal government. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network program and ATM Blowout, our development expert Badam Greatman said the adequate clarity on the categories of businesses is like to benefit in the tax waivers will go a long way for possible participation by entrepreneurs. Elucidating further, Mr. Badon cautioned against unnecessary bottleneck against the policy. This is coming as the Federal Executive Councils have recently approved a raft of far-reaching economic policies and infrastructure programs. It endorsed a bill which seeks federal and state collaboration to suspend certain taxes on small businesses and vulnerable populations. Federal governments, through the National Salaries, Incomes and Wage Commission, says that the payment of a new minimum wage of 70,000 naira will commence from July 2024. The Commission stated this was new because the date is in question was when President Bola Tinubu approved the bill after the National Assembly praised its Joseph Moses Nwayenka revealed the significance of the minimum wage to civil servants and the ordinary citizens of Nigeria. Still ahead, international tidbits. Israel's army chief told soldiers to prepare for the possible round offensive to fight Hezbollah in Lebanon as their air force conducted hundreds of deadly strikes around the country. Lieutenant General Hazy Havai told a tank brigade, according to the statement from the military, that they are attacking all day, both to prepare the ground for the possibility of air entry, but also to continue striking Hezbollah. Lebanon's health minister said Wednesday's strike killed 51 people and injured 223, including its mountainous area alongside Hezbollah's traditional strongholds. Hezbollah said it has targeted Israel's Mossad spy agency on Taif Tiv outskirts in the morning. The first time it has found a ballistic missile in almost a year of crossing border clash sparked by the Gaza war. In response, Israel said it hit 60 Hezbollah's intelligence sites among hundreds of the group targets struck around Lebanon. Former President Donald Trump was briefed about real and specific threats from Iran to assassinate him. Trump's campaign said Iran's aim to assassinate the Republican presidential candidate is part of the Islamic Republic effort to destabilize the snow choice in the United States. Stephen Chingyang, director of Trump campaign communication, made this known in a press release. Chingyang said that intelligence officials have identified a continued coordinating attack against Trump has highlighted in the past few months. The communication director disclosed that law enforcement officials across all agencies are working to ensure President Trump is protected and the election is free from interferences. Russian strike on Wednesday on the city of Kramatorsk is in Ukraine. Eastern Donetsk region killed 1 and wounded at least 15. Regional government Van D. Flanksklin said journalists at the scene saw that appeal to 2 separate hit rounds in kilometers apart, both in residential area Baskov. Was standing nearby, pointing at the place where her flat used to be on the 8th floor, now a gaping hole. She said she had crawled away from the window after a loud bang and was struggling to come to her senses. The strike also destroyed a 5-story apartment block and nearby restaurants. The city lies around 20 kilometers from the front line, with fears over its fate rising as Russian forces continue their push into eastern Ukraine. And now to entertainment news. Population leveled against him by the social media influencer Martin Ortiz, also known as Very Dark Man. In a viral audio released by Very Dark Man, Bobrisky alleged that some unnamed Economic and Financial Crimes Commission operatives collected 15 million naira from him to drop money laundering charges against him. Reacting to the viral audio in a statement on Tuesday, the EFCC's head of media and publicity, Dele Oyewale, said the commission's chairman, Ola Olukayode, has ordered an immediate investigation into the matter. However, in an Instagram post on Wednesday morning, Bobrisky denied bribing any EFCC officer to drop money laundering charges against him, saying that he served his jail term. The controversial social media sensation also described the viral voice recording as fake, stressing that the claims that he was never in prison was false and should be ignored. American rapper Meek Mill has revealed that he wants to head an investigation team to find out why he is being linked to disgraced music executive Sean Combs, aka Diddy. Recall that Diddy was recently arrested by Homeland Security on suspicion of sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, and inter-race transportation for prostitution. Following his arrest, Diddy's past and present associate had been under media scrutiny. Reacting to the media scrutiny, Milk Mike said he was willing to head an investigative team for $100 to find out about the involvement of his name in Diddy's case. He also said he is interested in finding out those empowering the media to involve him in a scandal. Meanwhile, Diddy has denied all the charges, entering a not guilty plea on Tuesday, 17 September. However, the bad boy recalls bail request was rejected twice. And now to sports news. South Africa will host the Africa U20 Cup of Nations in January 2024. According to the report, the Confederation of African Bowls have awarded the hosting rights of the competition to South Africa. ATM recalls that South Africa hosted the competition 13 years ago. Nigeria won the competition, hence dragging past Senegal in the finals. The Flying Eagles will have to scale through from their WAFU-B qualifying tournament to be hosted by Togo next month to book their flight to South Africa 2025. Last year, the Flying Eagles finished third at the U20 Falcon in Egypt. The Blues seems to have shifted attention to the powerful forward after falling to sign his compatriot Victor Osimhen this summer. According to TBR Football, the West London club has scouted the 23-year-old in a recent week. Enzo Zahas Marseille's side still plans to strengthen their strike force in January transfer window. Boniface has a contract with Bayer's Leverkusen until 2018. The former Bordeaux and Grinds players currently transfer make valuation is 40 million euros. He has registered 4 goals and 1 assist in his 6 appearances across all competitions for Die Wekives this season. And that's the size of the package.